Hey there, YTPC. New Jersey Piper Ben here. Just popping in for a quick Sunday afternoon smoke. Bit of a ramble. Just trying to get this in on the front porch before the rain starts. I think it's supposed to hit about 4 o'clock, and looks like it's going to rain all damn week, which sucks. But yeah, just watching a lot of videos, watching a lot of remembrances for matches, and it's been cathartic. It's been as sad and tragic as it was. It's been a good opportunity to see the sort of the outpouring of just support and memories, and just it's just incredibly evident how many people he affected, and how he really was the godfather of the YTPC. I don't think anybody would refute that. He represented all of us, I think, in some small way. So because of that, I've added some subscriptions, which is great. People out there, once again, it's like, how on earth have I not seen their channel before? I've gained some subscribers because of it, which is also really cool. And I think that's what Matches would want. He'd want us to, be out there interacting with more people, and, helping the hobby grow, and linking the hobby, linking the people that participate in the hobby together. And that's just going to make the community that much stronger. And I think he'd be pleased to see the reactions, and see the positive things that have come out of such a tragic time. So that's really cool. Sorry, housekeeping. Having some Peterson Dunhill standard mixture in my my Savinelli 122 spigot. Really great smoking pipe. I love this pipe. I've pretty much got it devoted to English blends, along with a lot of other pipes, honestly. But yeah. Got a bit of noise on the draw. Might have not packed it very good, but oh well, it's still smoking. Yeah, I got a couple of business trips coming up, which the sort of the thrill of traveling for business is pretty much gone on me at this point, but I at least am going to a couple of places that I've never been before, which is nice. Going to San Antonio next week. Never been to San Antonio before. Been to Texas a few times, but never San Antonio. We're going to be staying kind of near the Riverwalk area, which is sort of the tourist hub, I guess, of the city. A lot of restaurants and things, so that should be nice. So if you have any restaurant recommendations, or like, hey, you're in the area, you have to do this, obviously feel free to holler at me in the comments. But noting I won't have a rental car, so going with a group of people, so probably going to be mostly within walking distance of the hotel, which again is kind of right in the middle of the Riverwalk area. So be Ubering places probably, or walking again. So then back here for a week, and then the following week I'm actually going to be going to Tampa for sort of like an industry meetup. So it's I went to the e-commerce packaging summit in Seattle last year, and the gentleman that worked for the Packaging Machinery and Manufacturers Institute introduced himself and told me about a thing they have called the Packaging Management Council, which is a group of people that are sort of managers in the packaging industry that convene quarterly and talk about industry issues, and they use shared knowledge to, you know, basically gain each other's experience and talk through issues and say, hey, well, I've experienced that before and this is what I did to deal with it, sort of thing, you know, talking about innovation and stuff like that. So sort of a mind meld sort of situation. But that should be pretty cool. I never experienced anything like that before, and I talked to my boss and he was like, yeah, it's a great idea, but just, you know, bring back something we can use, and that'll obviously be the goal. But yeah, that's in Tampa, and I've actually been to Florida a few times, but never been to Tampa. And I know there's some pretty nice beaches near there on the Gulf Coast around Pinellas County, St. Pete Beach. I know there's some islands out there that are supposed to be really nice. So again, if you guys been in or around Tampa, holler at me and say, hey, you got to go see this beach. I love beaches so much. So if there's like a beach that's like, you know, like super nice quality sand and nice clear water, and maybe isn't going to be too crazy this time of year, which I don't think it should be. I mean, we're in February, but I know it's still going to be warm down there. So hell, coming from Jersey, I mean, if it's like 70 degrees, I'm like on the beach good to go. So yeah, but yeah, that should be a good time. And obviously, you know, if you have any suggestions for the Tampa area, let me know on that too. That includes restaurants, you know, restaurants and things to do that aren't too time consuming, because I'm obviously only going to be there for a few days. But yeah. And then that should be pretty quiet after that until the sales conference, which they do every year, but they actually haven't announced where that's taking place yet. So I've heard, there's always rumors, but the first rumor I heard was South Africa, and then the second rumor I heard was the Bahamas. And just on first muster, I gotta say I'd prefer the latter. Never been to the Bahamas before, and again, being a beach guy, I'm like, oof, Bahamas and beaches are sort of go hand in hand. It's basically a bunch of islands covered in amazing beaches, so that could be a pretty cool experience. But you know, I'm not getting my hopes up on that, because I don't know where in the world that rumor came from. But if that did happen, it'd be pretty cool either way. Last year was Barcelona, and that was amazing. So yeah. And the location seems to hinge on how well the company does financially. And so with Barcelona, we obviously had a really good financial year. And I think we're having a pretty good year this year too. So, you know, fingers crossed for a really, really nice location, hopefully. And then the end of April, beginning of May, we'll be actually taking a personal vacation with my wife and going to Ireland for the first time. And I've talked about that on some previous videos quite a while back, but I'm super, super excited for that. Obviously planning on going to the Peterson shop in Dublin and buying my first Peterson pipe, you know, there in person. So I think, you know, it'll mean more that I did that, you know, and want to get a picture with the Sherlock Holmes mannequin statue thing they have there, and get my Sherlock Holmes tamper, and yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. Checked out the customs site, and apparently you can bring in 250 grams of tobacco into the country. So, you know, that's, you know, 5 50-gram tins basically. But I don't know if they have to be in tins or if they could be in bags and they'll weigh it. I have no idea. If you know, let me know. I was curious about that. It's not that big of a deal. I'll just take 5 unopened tins, honestly, and be good to go. But yeah, because I do want to smoke a lot of pipes while I'm there. In the Irish countryside, you know. Hopefully we'll be able to slow down and, you know, make some videos, but, you know, definitely don't want to let that overshadow the vacation. This is my first proper vacation in a really long time, and it will definitely be the longest vacation I've ever taken, because we're going to be there for 9 nights, you know, starting out in Dublin and then driving across and we'll be staying in Cork and Killarney and Galway and also in Limerick. So again, for a total of 9 nights, and then flying out of the West Coast airport there in Shannon, coming back to Newark. So that should be really good. I hope the weather turns out. I know the weather in Ireland can change at the drop of a hat, and I don't expect it to be perfect the entire time. That's a unreasonable expectation, but I'm really hoping it's nothing too crazy going on. But either way, we'll have a good time, and gonna rent a car and again just drive around the countryside and check out all the beautiful sights. I mean, from what I can tell from pictures, the entire country is gorgeous, but yeah, I really want to try to find those sort of special places and just veg out and really let the atmosphere do its thing on my psyche, which is the whole purpose of a vacation. So yeah. So yeah, rambled for quite a while. Again, let me know recommendations in San Antonio, recommendations in Tampa. If you know anything about bringing tobacco into Ireland, or again, any recommendations for Ireland based on the places I mentioned we'd be going, like this is one of those things like you don't see on the websites. It's not a very common tourist activity, but it's amazing. Definitely interested in hearing about stuff like that, because I want to try to. I know tourism. Ireland's leaned into tourism a lot lately, and it's been really good for their economy.